The paramilitary Rapid Support Forces battled the army outside the central city of Wad Madani on Saturday. The attack has opened a new front in the 8-month-old conflict and forced thousands to flee. Witnesses say Sudan's army, which has held the city since the start of the conflict, launched airstrikes or RSF forces to the east of the city, which is the capital of Al-Jazirah state, as it tried to push back the assault that started on Friday. The Rapid Support Forces have responded with artillery fire, and RSF reinforcements were seen moving in the direction of the fighting. The United Nations says 14,000 people have fled the area so far, and a few thousand had already reached other cities. 500,000 people had sought refuge in Al-Jazirah state, mainly from the capital Khartoum. The conflict between the RSF and the Sudanese army broke out in April after disputes over a transition to democracy and integration of the two forces. Well, let's cross over to CGTN's Naba Muhyiddin. She's joining us live from Port Sudan. Naba, Madani was one of the places of a refuge for those fleeing fighting in Khartoum and elsewhere. And now we hear reports it is becoming a flashpoint. What can you tell us about this?
Actually, yes, Madani was expected, like the fighting to be morphed into wider places and extended to Al-Jazirah state. It was long expected because maybe Madani or Al-Jazirah state is an agricultural hub and it's a basket for many cities, and it links central Sudan to main cities, including eastern Sudan, western Sudan, and White Nile state. So Madani is crucial, and this is why RSF maybe are targeting it. And another reason is also that most of the petroleum reservoirs and stations are in Madani because it's now also hosting large number of people, the services, industries, factories, and also petroleum now is in Madani, and many people and traders and banks and governmental institutions move to Madani. Maybe this is one of the strategies by the RSF to move the war into safer regions, to terrify people, to loot, and to have enough supplies of food, petroleum, and money. The situation is really bad, and a lot of people are fleeing from Madani to other states, which is really devastating, and people are terrified right now because they already saw terrifying scenarios in Khartoum, so they want to stay longer to see the battles in Madani develops.
And what are you hearing, Naba, about the situation in Al-Jazirah state? Naba, if you can hear me, I just want to hear from you what you're hearing about the situation in Al-Jazirah state.
Al-Jazirah.
Go ahead.
Al-Jazirah state is also fragile, especially in eastern Al-Jazirah, where RSF right now are penetrating into eastern Al-Jazirah and trying to surround Madani from many fronts. People are so terrified. 3 people got killed last night. They got killed from RSF directly targeting them, a child and 2 men. And also in eastern Al-Jazirah, RSF looted some banks and set fire on police stations. So the situation in Al-Jazirah state, in eastern Al-Jazirah, is terrifying. And the army is blocking the main bridge linking Khartoum to Al-Jazirah and not allowing cars to pass. Only people or workers can go and cross the bridge. Eastern Al-Jazirah is really fragile. Western and south of Al-Jazirah is a bit safer, and people are taking roads to Sinnar, to Blue Nile state, and also some of them are taking that road to come to Al-Gadarif and to come to Port Sudan. There is very big displacement movement right now, and displacement crisis. Families, patients, people who took Madani as a shelter right now are terrified and moving from western side and southern side of Al-Jazirah state.
And Naba, you know, this escalation in the war comes less than a week after the warring sides gave conditions under which they would be ready to restart talks led by IGAD. Any word about such talks happening anytime soon?
Actually, people are suspecting that these talks will be held because right now with the escalation, after promises of de-escalation, RSF and military right now are de-escalating and the war and conflict is moving into safer regions. So we don't know whether it's a tactic or a strategy by RSF to get a pressure card on negotiation and a point to have a strong negotiation points. So people are so skeptical about these talks that will be held. There is no comment by the Sudanese army. There is no comment by Sudanese Minister of Foreign Affairs and by the talks facilitators. We hope that the attack on Madani is just a chaotic attack and not a strategic attack by RSF, and we hope that the two sides will just figure out that this war is consuming people and consuming the country and can sit in one negotiation table very soon to end this chaotic war.